Hi, I am Matt Print from Fitness with Matt, and here is my gaze guide to gym confidence. So, this is me proving that I was the most unsporty kid. I was extremely overweight for the majority of my life till my mid 20s. So, you know, I relate. I've been where you've all been watching this video. I have not always had the confidence to go into a fitness space, into the gym. And confidence is a big issue and a big barrier for many people to get into the gym, to get training, to usually get the physique they want, to give them the confidence they want in other areas of their life. So today we're going to kind of reframe confidence. And I'm also going to give you some actual actionable strategies, because anything I do, I want you to go away being like, I can do that right away. So you've had enough looking at my face here. So let's move on. Click, click, click. So why is it harder as gay men to get into the gym? Gym bros, okay? It's a very intimidating environment if you've not been in it before. You know, it's a lot of grunting men making weird noises, looking at themselves in the mirror, not looking particularly happy. It feels a very testosterone-y kind of place. And leading on to, it can often be very hypermasculine. It can, yeah, even though it's weirdly homoerotic, I'm going to say it. Like, I was there the other week and there was this guy training with his friend and they were like feeling each other's biceps up. So I enjoyed the show. Gay media, I think it's hard for us to get into the gym because often the body types we're shown we should aspire to be on gay social media, in the gay media, is not something that's necessarily very easy for us to achieve, or maybe even something we want to achieve, because I know I don't really see myself represented in gay media, and I literally work in fitness as well, and that's not like a weird humble brag. It's just me making the point that someone who maybe should feel represented, I don't. And I think the last one for me really resonates, and it's PE trauma. Like, if we think about growing up, you know, changing rooms for me, I hated getting changed in the PE changing rooms. You know, I was very body conscious. It's hyper masculine. If you're looking at anyone else, you're gay. And all this kind of stuff in gay was used as a slur term. So, and also, like, I just was not a sporty kid. I was very creative. I loved musical theatre. I loved music. I loved art. So it was just not a place where I felt comfortable. The only sports I enjoyed was netball, because once you had the ball, you didn't have to move. And then secondly, I enjoyed it when Ricky came to do dance at my school. So, you know. So, next question. Which comes first? As you can see, I am very confused. Is it confidence or is it action? Come with me on a little detour for a moment. So, I am on day 333 of learning Japanese and Italian on Duolingo. I recently upgraded to Max because I was like, do you know what? I'm not very good at speaking it. I can type, drag the words in, and X, Y, Z, but why am I telling you? Well, if we're thinking about confidence and what we do first, if we're waiting for confidence, it would be the equivalent of me not speaking any of these languages I'm trying to learn until I'm fluent. And we all know that the only way I will actually get fluent in Japanese or Italian is by speaking them. Okay? So I just wanted to use an example outside of fitness to be like, oh yeah, that makes kind of sense. And I think it's also the same with the gym. We think we need the confidence to wait for the confidence to come to go. But the thing is, confidence is built through doing. It's the result of taking action. It's not a requirement. Like, if you go back to your first day at school, like secondary school especially, you're like, how am I going to manage, like, finding where my classrooms are? What if I'm late? What about homework? What if I don't have any friends? You know, it's an all very scary new environment. But we only get more confident in new environments by exploring them. And the T is kind of the same with the gym. You know, you go to the gym nervous, but once you've been there a few times, you're like, do you know what? I didn't die. I'm okay. And then you do it again. Then you do it again. And before you know it, the anxiety will disappear. Of course, if you're a bit neurospicy, then there's going to be other challenges. But generally, we always think we have to wait for confidence to take action, but it's actually the other way around. Sorry. So let's think of it a new way. So let's take action first. So, and don't worry, I'm going to go into this in more detail. So we have to step inside a gym. We have to do something whilst we're there to make us feel a bit more competent. Like, okay, well, I can come in here and I can go and walk on the treadmill. Cool. That's going to give us confidence. I've done it once, so I can do it again. And it's this constant feedback loop. You know, your brain is trying to keep you safe. It's like, I'm not sure if this is a safe place for me because, you know, PE changing rooms again. Luckily, I never had to shower at school. I was happy about that. But circling back to this, we're getting this constant feedback loop that actually nothing terrible has happened to us. So by doing that, the confidence will grow and grow. Now, you're probably here being like, well, that was helpful, Matt. But I'm going to go through how I would actually approach even taking action. First place to start, and you're going to bear with, because you're going to think I've made this up, but this is actual science for a minute, I know. For example, when you see someone like you, a gay man, doing a squat in a gym, it fires up the same region of the brain as you doing it. Your brain literally rehearses doing that thing before you try it. It's called vicarious experience, and it's the first step to maybe getting this confidence in the gym. So, what am I on about? Surround yourself with possibilities, okay? Curate your social media. Don't follow people who make you feel shame or guilt or, you know, feelings of like you're not worthy because you're comparing yourself. People who are setting you up for unrealistic gym expectations, let's just ditch them. Let's surround ourselves. And yes, that is me because, you know, I feel like I'm not really a gym bro. I'm too busy listening to Dreamgirls in my headphones anyway. I'm pointing at my butt, aren't I? Look at my butt. But yeah, go onto YouTube. Look at gay, queer people who are in the gym training. Look for people like you who you resonate with, maybe before you even go into a gym. You know, what we surround ourselves with is what's going into our heads. You know, we're not just a result of what we eat health-wise. Mental health, what are we looking at online? So yeah, surround yourself with people like you, gay men, in the gym taking action, because subconsciously your brain's going, I can do that. They're doing it. I can do it. So, key message here. Not all gyms are equal. So making sure if you are going to join a gym, you find a gym where you feel at least comfortable. Personally, I prefer the kind of big box gyms that are open 24 hours and I need a code to go in because I can pick and choose the times when it's quieter. Often on some of the apps, I know on the Pure Gym app, and this is not sponsored, I can see if the gym is busy before I go. So I can make sure I'm going when it's maybe quieter. And if it's a place where I just don't feel comfortable, I don't get good vibes, then don't join that gym. Now, quick caveat, not a caveat, quick side point. Everyone's like, oh, what's the best gym for me to join? The one that you're going to go to, full stop. You know, it doesn't have to have the best, the newest equipment. It just has to be one that is convenient, you can get to, affordable, you feel comfortable there. And for the sake of this conversation, it's definitely got to be one that you're comfortable. I mean, luckily for me, when I first joined my Pure Gym, there was a really like strong LGBTQ plus kind of like message. They kept promoting it, how it was an inclusive space, and yeah, it was nice. Next, when you go your first time, make the most of your gym inductions. You know, most places will, you now have to opt in for it. Make the most of it, but keep your expectations low. Start with 2 to 3 exercises. Learn to do them well. Your main task for your first visit is to get there, to go inside, and to have a plan for when you're there. You're like, Matt, I don't have a plan. Okay, here's your plan. Do a leg press, do a chest press with a machine, and then do a cable row, whether that's with a machine or a machine that looks like this. Those 3 things. Do 3 sets on each, maybe 8 to 12 reps, full stop. That's it. You go on a treadmill, get your body temperature up. It doesn't matter how you warm up, as long as you get to the place where your body feels warm, and just keep it simple. 3 exercises. And if you're finding it really intimidating, I want you to forget that bit. Just get there and go inside. Go walk on a treadmill, leave. Just prove to yourself you can get into the space, and some of what you're scared of didn't come true. Okay? So, expectations low. Here's where I'm spilling a bit more tea. Our thoughts, our feelings, the story tell ourselves do not equal facts. Just because you think it does not make it true. I know you feel like you're going to be judged. You're going to feel nervous. You're going to maybe feel overwhelmed. None of those things actually mean you're not capable. It just means you're human. These are, it's a new place where you've had bad perceptions of it, bad experiences with sport in growing up. But what I would do is have some strategies to help you if you are going to feel anxious. Sorry, I can see what I'm going to pop up in a minute, so to speak. Cheeky. So first, I want you to reframe what's going to happen. I want you to zoom out and be like, put my feelings to one side and kind of like pretend you're writing a Dr. Pepper commercial. What is the worst that can happen? Because ultimately, you go in, you don't feel comfortable, you can leave. No one is holding you hostage, okay? But also, most people are too busy in the gym, either feeling self-conscious themselves or flexing and staring at themselves to even notice you, okay? Most people in there are on their own journey, just like you, to maybe work on their physique, to get healthier. So you're actually all in the same space for the same reason. Also, I want you to have a plan for, what happens if I feel anxious? How am I going to ground myself? Maybe it is you have some kind of breathing techniques you do. And if you want some of those, send me afterwards. I don't want to get into what those techniques are. Just have maybe some phrases in your phone written down like, people aren't watching you, XYZ. Again, most people are too busy to even notice you. So just going in with a plan for, if I get anxious, this is what I'm going to do. Maybe you even have a default thing you're going to do, like I'm going to go and sit on the bike when I feel anxious or overwhelmed. I think back to when I first started teaching fitness classes. So I taught Zumba, and it's very heavily choreographed. For each track I was teaching, I was like, if you forget the choreography, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do a simple basic step, and I'd have that in my mind. It would probably be marching on the spot, because I have already prepared for my worst case scenario mentally. I have pre-rehearsed in my head. I go wrong. I'm going to forget the choreography. I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to just walk left and right and take some deep breaths, get my brain back in gear, and then continue. And I think you need the same for maybe your first gym visit. Sorry, going on a bit. Finally, this is my final point, and then I'll do a recap. Borrow belief from someone else. If you don't believe it's possible, surround yourself with cheerleaders. Think about your support system. So whether that be you get a coach to maybe be there cheerleading you on from the side, maybe it's that you have an actual training buddy. You don't go alone the first few times. And also the people outside of the gym who are going to help support you, be like, hey, good for you, you've gone. And just talk about your anxieties even before you go, maybe. But we don't always have to have the self-belief ourselves, and I see it with my clients, having a cheerleader going, I believe in you, I know you can do this, and just talking through their potential anxieties and reassuring them that, hey, you got this, can make such a world of difference. So making sure you have a support system that is aware of your goals, aware of maybe your confidence issues with this, and are still going to support you anyway. That is my final thing, that I think people often underestimate their support system. And it's not just coaches. It's who's at home cheering you on. Who in your friendship group do you trust with this? Is there anyone who can support you in this, who's maybe a few steps ahead or felt what you felt? So, going into the final tea, she's sipping the tea. Confidence comes with action. I'm really sorry. There's no other way to say it. It's not going to come by sleeping in your bed and waking up each day and being like, have I got gym confidence today? Have I got the confidence to go to the gym? Nah, I'll sleep it off and wait till tomorrow. It's never going to come. I'm really sorry. That train is not going to arrive. Have a plan, okay? Go in with an action plan of, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to warm up on this bit of cardio equipment, and then I'm going to do these 3 movements. What you'll find in a lot of the box gyms now, if you aren't going to look ahead at maybe how to perform the exercises, or you haven't got a coach, luckily all my clients have like an app which have the videos in their pocket. A lot of machines now have QR codes, so you can scan them with your phone and look at how to do them. So have a plan, keep it simple, keep the expectations low. Have a strategy for if you do feel anxious or overwhelmed in that environment. And then finally, you don't have to do it alone, okay? You can have cheerleaders, you can have a coach, you can have a gym induction where they're going to show you how to do those 3 exercises I told you. You're going to have maybe a significant other, maybe you're going to have friends there cheerleading you from the side. And one thing that, on reflection, just quickly, I haven't said it, is I make my own space in the gym by having my music on. I switch out the world. Yes, I'm training in a space with other people, but headphones on. I don't want to train with anyone else personally. I like to switch off, listen to my music, and it's my time. Okay. I hope this has given you some things to think about. And yeah, let me know if this has given you enough confidence to go and take that first step, because I know you can do it, and I know it's not as scary as you think it's going to be. So let's go out there, prove those mean boys from year 9 PE that we can do this too, and we deserve to be in this space. And you never know, down the road, you might be this person inspiring others. You can't be what you can't see. You know, visibility matters. So people seeing you in that space might be inspiring someone else. Anyway, peace out. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I've got to work out how to stop this now.